upon your investigations, you could not find evidence to support a contention that it was the police that fired that caused the injuries, could you?
I've seen no specific evidence that would allow me to make such a conclusion, no.
And similarly, you could not determine as a matter of fact that the shot which caused the injuries to the deceased and the other persons you interviewed was fired from a shotgun in the possession of a police.
I'm unable to say that.
Dr. Mark Robinson, the independent ballistic expert, he appeared before the Linden Commission of Inquiry this afternoon. He was at the time responding to questions by lawyer for the Guyana Police Force, Peter Yu. In his report supplied to the Commission, Dr. Robinson said that he was provided with 12-gauge cartridges by the Guyana Police Force. 2 cartridges provided were of the Challenger brand. He explained that the cartridges provided were 1/4 ounce of a shot, with number 6 and one with number 4. He said that he dismantled both cartridges and found small pellets with plastic wadding. Dr. Robinson said that those pellets are readily distinguishable from the 00 Buck cartridge of the same brand, but he was informed that the ammunition of the latter was withdrawn from the force in 2005. He said he dismantled the cartridge and found it contained 900 Buck pellets with plastic wads. He said that the pellets were not copper-plated. According to Dr. Robinson's report, buckshot pellets recovered at the post-mortem of the 3 men had traces of copper coloration evident on the pellets. Dr. Robinson also told the Commission that none of the pellets recovered from the bodies of the 3 men shot on July 18 ricocheted from the road surface. While the pellets found in the bodies were different from what the police said it used on July 18, Assistant Superintendent Patrick Todd testified before the Commission that he fired to disperse the crowd by firing pellets directed to the roadway. Todd told the Commission that firing on the road allows the pellets to ricochet from the road. This, he had explained, would have taken off the velocity of the moving pellets before they reached the crowd. But when Dr. Robinson spoke to one of the shooting victims, Hector Solomon, Solomon produced a projectile removed from his wound. Dr. Robinson said that the projectile was consistent in dimensions and appearance with a 00 buckshot pellet. Todd had told the Commission that he fired pellets to disperse the crowd while the TSU ranks were about 100 yards away. Today, Dr. Robinson said that pellets discharged from 100 yards would be lethal. He was shown a photograph of the police in line formation of fire.
In that photograph, do you see any shotguns?
Yes, I can see at least 2.
The shotguns that you see in that exhibit, are those shotguns capable of firing cartridges that contain 00 buckshot?
I would say yes, simply because they appear to be, you can't tell the gauge just from a photograph like this, but again, nothing to suggest anything but the 12 gauge. They are pump action shotguns, so I would have no reason to suspect that anything but capable of discharging 12 gauge cartridges containing buckshot pellets.
Dr. Robinson dismissed suggestions that pellets could have been shot from any other weapon but a 12-gauge shotgun.
Could the pellets which you examined have been discharged from any other weapon other than a shotgun?
I don't realistically think so. I've considered this possibility, whether a weapon would be available which would discharge a single buckshot pellet is not really a realistic option unless one were to modify or manipulate in some specialist way another weapon. So I would say really no. I can think of no other explanation except these were discharged from a shotgun.
In your examination of the pellets and comparing it with the post-mortem report and the witnesses you spoke to, were you in a position to give an approximate distance from which the pellets might have been discharged at the time they hit the victim?
It's certainly a piece of work which I have considered in detail. It's unfortunately a very difficult one to answer. Each of the victims has only been struck by 1, 2 or 3 pellets. Now, distance determination with shotguns depends on looking at the shot pattern produced when all the pellets strike a target. The pellets are spread out the further away from the muzzle they are, and if we were to fire into a wall or a sheet of cars at some distance, we would produce an approximately circular pattern with an even distribution of pellets.
The ballistic expert was shown a picture of a shotgun. He said he saw that type of weapon at CID headquarters in Georgetown when he visited. He said that shotgun is capable of firing 00 buckshot pellets. For Prime News, Nazima Ragabir.